This is Russ Anderson. I'm going to run through an example of the integration between SynthEyes and Motion 3. So I have a shot that is a helicopter flyover of a soccer field, and suppose I want to do some things to that field. So I'm going to start out by setting up a coordinate system using a couple of the trackers that I've solved on the field itself. With that coordinate system now set up, I can go over to the 3D panel and create a plane on the surface of the field. And there's a special feature in the Motion 3 exporter going out of SynthEyes that lets you send these planes directly to Motion. And they appear in Motion as a drop zone, which makes it easy to do things with them there. Now there's also a script in SynthEyes that lets you set the aspect ratio of the plane. In this case, we'll make it a 16:9 plane, and that makes things easier to handle inside of Motion. So I'm just going to go and now just scale that back down while preserving the aspect ratio of the plane. So I have a plane there. It's going to go to Motion. You can also export any of the trackers. So maybe I'll take this one tracker up on the hill for the heck of it. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to leave it as the one exportable one and make all these other ones not exportable. So now we're ready to go to Motion. So we'll fire up the Motion 3 exporter. And there's a scaling factor here that makes life easier. Normally the coordinates in SynthEyes are sent directly. The default setting would put 20 units between these two trackers as part of the standard star 3 coordinate system setup. But since Motion 3 works in pixels completely, we just throw in an extra scaling factor that you can set here. The factor of around 100 works out reasonably well to help you, not have all of your scenes always be too small. So that distance between those two trackers is going to wind up being 2,000 units instead of just 20. You can also select whether or not we want to export the trackers, set up the size of the trackers, and so on. We'll just send things off, and now bring up Motion, and let's open up that file. Now we have the same setup inside of Motion as we did inside of SynthEyes. Basically, you've got that drop zone. There's the other drop zone lurking around on the hill up there. Make everything fit so you can see it. There's a drop zone up there as well. So the drop zones are now standard Motion 3 zone, so I can just drop some image into that and adjust it however I like. Normally you just use, probably use a video clip. Maybe that's the point of setting that aspect ratio that I did initially. Here we'll just adjust it to make that little burn-in logo come out okay. So now I've dropped something into the shot. I can render this out, do whatever I want, add other effects to it. So you can send as many different planes as you want and build up the layers. Motion 3 isn't terrific at handling the couple hundred or thousand trackers you might have in SynthEyes. So instead, this method of sending the planes directly makes it easier to set things up directly inside of SynthEyes, and then just send to Motion. the things, the places where you actually need stuff. So that's a nice way to work. Thanks. Hope you enjoy the show.